Pheasants. Welcome back, everybody, from around the world. We have a special guest and incredible breaking news in regards to Google Earth and Google Moon suppressing imagery from the public. And this is not the first time it's happened. Let me tell you, people, it's been happening over and over. We at Third Phase Moon have been sharing Google Earth and Google Moon imagery for a long time. And some of the images we've shown you have been wiped, scrubbed, scuttled, whatever you want to call it. They don't exist anymore in the archive for the public. And we have Kyle with us from UFO Proof with some new scuttled footage. And we have some new footage coming up, too, that I want to share you from Mars. I wonder if they're going to be scuttling this stuff, too. But, wow, Kyle from UFO Proof, we have them right now, and it's quite insane. We got the man. How you doing tonight? What happened?
Doing good.
With your new research in regards to the moon? Kyle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Blake. So I was on Google Earth or Google Moon or whatever a while ago. I had put out a video showing the tower and the so-called Tower of Babel. The shard or whatever, something that another ufologist, Richard Hoagland, had first made claims about. And by using Google Moon, I actually stumbled across it, and it was amazing. It's literally a 2-mile high structure pointing off the face of the moon. And what was interesting is I posted a video about it about a year ago. And I was showing some friends, and then just a day ago, I was talking about it with some people, and I went to go look for it, and today it is gone. It is nowhere on my Google Earth, and I do run Google Earth Pro, so
wow,
because
no, we've been watching this. We just spoke about this the other night. I think when we're on your show. On UFO Proof, we actually were saying that Google Earth and Google Images are scrubbing their imagery, and then next thing you know, it was actually within 24 hours, and all of a sudden, this imagery is scuttled. This has got to be, I don't know, it sounds like we're shaking things up.
Now, I'm just gonna point this out that I did find it very unusual. Because we were looking at it, just some friends of mine on Google Hangouts before we had our interview on my channel, and then we go and we do our interview, and then the next day, it's gone. Now it's not on there anymore, and I just found it interesting that happened. Now, you know what? I believe that structure is there no matter what. I think that the Google Moon or whatever on my end, there's something up with it, and I just find it interesting that that's even possible to happen. I mean, when you give out the coordinates to anybody on Earth, you give them the coordinates for Google Earth, you put out the longitude and latitude, and they type it in, and it takes them right to the same picture, so everyone gets to see the same thing. How come I'm not able to see the same thing, even though I have the exact same coordinates that everyone else is using? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is weird because you're saying other people out there are still able to access this, but now you're being denied the access to Google Earth. Is this correct?
It seems like not like I'm being denied, but something's happening where maybe they're updating, maybe they're doing whatever, but it's obviously affecting my Google Earth or Google Moon or whatever. It doesn't show it anymore. An object literally I was just looking at a couple days prior to all of a sudden is not there anymore, and it doesn't seem to make the slightest bit of sense because I have friends on the other side of the world who are able to go and view it, and it's just interesting that there's something's going on. I mean, how is that possible that we can have the same exact coordinates but we have two different pictures of the same spot? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, so what's happening?
It doesn't. You know what's really weird too is I was watching your video too, and you have before and after you released this footage that you discovered on the moon, and now you're looking at it and you're showing exactly on how you're doing it again, and you don't see the exact same anomaly of whatever this tower is. Trust me, we've got some incredible moon footage from Robert Morningstar and the Apollo mission, high-res stuff, and it shows the exact same thing, in my opinion. And it looks like a tower, but what's really weird is that I want to get the coordinates. I want to get people's help, because is this some kind of a glitch in the system, or is Kyle onto something? Because I'm pretty sure.
That's
yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, is it possible that the American servers are for Google are different than they are, for the other side of the world, or is there some kind of an update? But it seems like an update that doesn't make even the slightest bit of sense, because it's literally taking stuff away that should be there. Stuff that's been there for over a year. That's as much as I can say that object has been there for over a year, and how does that happen in a single day? Now it's gone. And I mean, it's not like, I don't think it's technically like a glitch because of the way Google Moon works, which is they fly a satellite around the moon and it sends down a laser and it simply scans the topography of the landscape of the moon. So you don't actually see the actual image. It's a computer generated image of just the topography. So obviously whatever it was there. I mean, because it can tell you if you're down inside of a crater or if you're up on a mound or whatever. It shows it no problem. So it showed this structure, which just happened to be 2 miles high, which is exactly what Richard Hoagland was describing when he was talking about this photograph of the shard on the moon. So, I mean, I believe the structure to be there. I don't believe it's an anomaly in Google Earth, but I do believe that there's some kind of anomaly happening to my Google Earth somehow. Somehow something's not working correctly, because everything else is perfectly fine. Everything else is totally there and in its place and where it should be, except for that one thing.
Well, that's what we want to do. We want to experiment. We're going to get the links. We're going to share it with everybody, and we want to make sure that it's still there, or is it not there? We got to get down to the bottom of this mystery, because I know for a fact that there has been suppressed photographs from Google Earth that has been taken down, and they're not up. So what Kyle is saying, it makes total sense. I'm wondering if, Kyle, I want you to take a look at this discovery. It was made just recently by a man, he calls himself Mars Moon Space TV, and he's got a YouTube channel, and this is a really incredible photograph of Mars from, let's see, it's coming in from the Mars orbiter, and the number is PCP _01 0329 _1525. So if you search that up under the Mars orbiter, you'll be able to find this photograph. And did you get this? Did you get this photograph that I sent you, Kyle?
I'm looking at it right now, and the sphere, correct?
Yeah, exactly. A sphere, the shadow. It's actually a pretty incredible discovery, just recently released, and I wanted to get your opinion. Right away when I'm looking at it, the shadow is incredibly elongated. You have some kind of a formation that you could make out whatever the structure is. And when I was enhancing this video, this photograph in high res, it almost seems shiny. What do you make of this?
Well, when I look at it, the first thing that pops up is that the pixelation on it is really high. So that's telling me that the camera is super far away. So it's hard to say that this is actually even a shadow. Like that white ball, the sphere that we're looking at, doesn't have to be technically a sphere, and we can judge this by looking at the rest of the image, which shows white. And see the like the troughs that kind of look like it, like maybe looked kind of like sand dunes in a way, running right next to it. So you can see at the end that they seem to go a little bit wider.
Sure.
Yeah, and then so there could be some kind of that it's just actually, it's not a sphere, but it's given us that impression because there's light bouncing off the inside of something, like more like that there's an indentation than an actual sphere. And the shadow.
One second, Kyle. I do want to point out to you, and it's an anomaly. But let me just tell you a quick story about how we're treasure hunters, and we look for relics and things like this. And you know what's really interesting is we find all kinds of marbles from 100 to 120 years ago off eroded areas, and it's almost like a game. It's like, who's going to find a marble today? And it's insane, especially when it rains and things like this. These spheres, these marbles, they present themselves like if you've got the eye. To me, it looks like almost like a perfect sphere, like a marble would reveal itself in under erosion. It's just I see it all the time. I've found hundreds of marbles and they're perfectly sphere.
Well, I'd say now this would we got to make the consideration that this is already inside of the crater. So once it's already inside of the crater, that means that it would have to at least be higher than the crater edge where it's black for the sun to be hitting it and causing a shadow to be going that way. So what could that mean then? You know, like it seems, I'm not 100% that it's a sphere. In fact, it does appear to be like an indentation to me. But again, I'm working off just this one image, and judging off just the image, that is in fact what it looks like, is like a sphere. But I mean, unless I have more detail with it to go off like more of the images, it would be kind of difficult to judge. But I think it is an interesting picture. But I do think it has a good explanation. Just I've seen this kind of stuff before with other things like optical illusions, and looking at the inside of a face mask can look like it's actually popped out in 3D, even though you're looking at the inside of it. I'm thinking it's something more like that, but of course I'm not an expert on it, and you guys actually hunt marbles and bottles and stuff, so you guys might have a little more background on what it would look like. But that's just my opinion on it.
I want your opinion, people. What was discovered on Mars from the orbiter, and then including why is Google Earth maybe covering up these massive anomalies, possible towers on the moon? Stick around. We got other questions for you coming up in the next few days on in regards to these new discoveries.
Sure, anytime, man. Hit me up, man. I got you.
All right, that was Kyle right here at Third Phase Moon. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see everybody again next time. By popular demand, Paul Barrett is back with his third album, Third Phase of Moon, The Strangest Things. 12 brand new tracks heard by millions on your favorite channel, Third Phase of Moon. Available on iTunes, Amazon, and music streaming services. Paul Barrett's Third Phase of Moon, The Strangest Things. Available right now. Links are below.